Flack math! Give me some math and I'll give you some flack. Flack math!
All right, so this is practice test 1. Okay. All right, number 1, the high school ski club has 42 members. The circle graph shows what percentage of the members have fallen into grade brackets. Use a protractor to measure the angle of the wedge that represents grade 9. How many members of the ski club are in grade 9? So basically, you're just going to measure that angle. So do you guys remember how to do that with the protractor?
Yeah. You line it with the little doggy in the middle.
Okay. I'm going to go next door and steal my protractor back from my brother.
He couldn't find it when he was looking
He couldn't?
Tuesday. He said he must have given it back to you.
Liar! He didn't. Anyone measure this with a protractor?
Yeah, it's 7 inches.
So you measured, I think you measured something else.
Oh, cool.
But
I
what's
got
the,
7 inches.
how do you measure with the protractor?
But like, okay.
You
Oh, you
hold it
put
up
the
to the angle and look at the angle.
Yeah, so the protractor is like right here, right?
You
I'm
put
gonna
the
use a different
dot in the
color
middle.
there.
Does anyone have a protractor? What?
I have a
So this is where the edge, the vertex goes. And then here's the measurements on the outside of the protractor like that. All you're doing is line up that side of the angle with the protractor, boom. And then you just look at the number and where it crosses. So you can extend that if you need to. Where does it cross? Does anyone have an answer?
No.
So it's like, what does it look like? Give me that protractor. Give it! Oh gosh, that's
Well,
a weapon.
Don't break my protractor.
Okay, I'm just gonna go on the screen and do that, but you can't see it, and I don't want to turn it because it's really difficult. Never mind.
You could
Okay.
have done it. If you really tried, you could have.
Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? Just to be crazy. Watch this.
Gonna make it bigger.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
That's so crazy.
Grade 9. So I'm lining it up there. Oh.
Come on, let's.
Be tall. Do you need help?
You're not picking up.
Sorry. We're wasting time. Okay, so that looks like it crosses at about 60. So you'll see 2 numbers. The 2 numbers are basically supplements of each other. So there's 60 and there's 120. Well, your gut tells you that that's not 120 degrees, right? It's 60. It's an acute. So this says 60 or 120. So your answer is 60. Okay? So, but what is the question asked? How many members are in the ski club? So if it's 60 degrees out of
it's
how
7
much?
members.
360.
360. So out of 360, you can reduce that if you want. But you're really finding 360. It's of how many total people in the...
7. I knew I got 7
Yeah,
from
7.
somewhere.
Yeah, so not 7 inches, but 7 members.
I had 7 from somewhere. Okay, so I was like right.
Yeah, you're right. You're good. So of 42, so you can reduce that to 1/6 times 42, or of 42. It's just 7. So 7 students. Okay, so you should get a nice pretty number like 60, which will reduce nicely out of 360. Okay, so you might get 90 out of 360 or something, so 1/4. Okay, does that make sense? So can you tell with your eye how many students are in grade 10?
8.
How'd you get 8?
Just a little bit bigger.
Just a little bit bigger. So it looks like 8 and part of another student. Ew. Because, what is it? It's 1/4 of 42. Well, 4 doesn't go into 42. Because it's 90, right? So 90 degrees out of 360 is 1/4. So 1/4 of 42. So it's more than 8. It's 10 in part of a student. Like maybe the arms and legs of a student. Or maybe we just don't cut up people. That's gross.
What is entertaining?
Just ignore that.
It's called cannibalism.
Yeah. Number 2.
Is the
Cannibalism
answer
is
A,
not
B,
religion.
line over it? Like line numbers?
All right, number 2. Given or give 2 different names for the line shown in the diagram. Okay? So what do you need to label a line?
To
Two
label it?
lines?
Yes. You just need 2 points, or so there's more than 2 ways to label this line.
If I did A, B, would that be fine?
Yep, but you have to, don't
With
forget
the
you need to
arrow
put
over it going
a
both
line
ways.
with an arrow
Yeah. I
both
know.
ways, or BA, or what's the other way to label this?
Say line.
AA?
Not AA,
A.
because that's not a point, that little small a. What's, there's 1/3, and the C is like over here, right? So it's not on the line. So we can't involve C into this nonsense. But there's one way,
A.
one other way.
B, A, B,
So
C.
just line A. So if you see like the little cute little A right next to a line, if it's a lowercase a, then that's the name of the line. Okay? But it's always safe to just pick 2 points and put a line over it. Okay? Make sure they're on the line though, so you can't say C. Everybody good with number 2? So you just have to pick 2 ways to do it. So you could just say line AB or BA, or line AB and line little case a. Does everyone understand why those 3 are good names for that?
Yes.
Okay? So you just either pick 2 points, or if there's a cute little letter by the line, then you can just say line that. Okay? All right, number 4. Find the distance AC on the number line below. So you could literally just count it. Or you can do the distance formula, which is the absolute value of A minus C, right? So what's the coordinate for A?
4.
And what's the coordinate for C?
-1.
-1. So distance equals absolute value of A minus C. So distance equals the absolute value of 4 minus -1. So 4 plus +1, right? 4 minus -1 is the same thing as 4 plus +1. You can chicken scratch that. So you just get 5. Absolute value of 5 is 5. So it's just the distance of 5. Or you can just go to C with your finger and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That works too. All right? Yes?
There's 10 questions on a piece of paper, right?
Yeah, so 10 on one side, 10 on the other.
Oh, I did
That's
it
beautiful. So 2 columns of 5.
wrong. I didn't do mine.
Will we have access to this video too if we need to like go?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. You can watch it with your grandkids when you're older if you want. Grandma, what's wrong with that man?
Everything.
Oh,
Well, back in 2020, that was a very tough year for all of us.
did you do like your tests?
Okay, in the figure below, line segment, is that a line segment or a line? No, line QR, those cute little arrows
I
are
have a
killing me.
question.
Those guys are parallel.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you mean to skip 3?
Did I skip 3?
Yes, you did skip 3.
That's
Oh
4.
no, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
All right, so
I'm
that's
so
4.
confused.
I was a
Let's
little
do
confused.
5 since I'm there and I'm kind of in it. I'm ready and excited for number 5. Then we'll come back and do 3. Okay, in the figure below, line QR is parallel to line ST. Line UV is perpendicular to line QR. It's kind of what your gut tells you anyway. Line WX is perpendicular to line QR. What is the relationship between UV and WX?
Surf color.
Perpendicular.
The parallel.
use your gut because
Parallel lines.
so UV and WX, yep, they're parallel. So you would just say UV is parallel to WX, and if you feel like giving me a reason, like
Because
according
they
to
do not
theorem this,
intersect.
they have to be, then I will give you a little bit of extra credit. But that's all you need to do for number 5. They're either going to be parallel or perpendicular, right? So you got a 50-50 chance. But you can see clearly that UV and WX, those are parallel. All right, number 3. Points A and B lie on plane M. So let's draw like a plane M. So A and B.
Oh, I forgot just.
Does line AB line on plane M? Does this line lie on there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah! Sure. And if you want to tell me why, you're going to get extra credit for that. Because there's a theorem. You can even just say what theorem it is. According to theorem this, then they are. That has to be. If 2 points are on a plane, then the line containing those 2 points lies on the plane. You could even state the theorem, and I'll give you extra credit. Yes, question? Did you have a hand up? Somebody?
I was just going to say, can I state what number theorem?
Yep, you can just say, like, what is that? I don't even know what it is. Like
So
3
you-
dash,
so you can
3-1 or something like
I
that.
think
I
it's
have a
31.
Can I be like,
Yes, Tally?
You were saying that the like postulates and stuff we don't need to memorize.
You don't
but-
need to memorize the numbers,
Yeah.
but if you happen to memorize the number, then you don't have to write it out.
Okay.
But the theorem states if 2 points lie on a plane, then the line containing them also lies on the plane.
But some of the questions were asking what postulate.
Yeah, and so you can
this is.
either state it, or you can just give me the number.
Okay.
Yes.
So like it says justify your answer. Could you just write the A?
Oh, it does?
Yeah. Could
Oh
you
yeah, then
just-
that's not extra credit. Then now you have to write it out.
No, but you could just write like the AB with a little line on it on M, and then like add like theorem 4, 5.
Yep,
And then,
yep, or whatever theorem it is. And guys, I'm going to let you, if you want to look up the theorem in your book, or just write down, since you have, most of you have been writing down the theorems, you can have a list of theorems as you take a test, okay? So you can use all that, and then you just have to reference the number. You don't have to write it out, okay? So if you haven't written those down, write them down, and you can use those when you take a test, okay? Good? Yes, ma'am.
Does that include postulates? Or
Yes, postulates as well, because sometimes postulates have numbers as well. Okay, number 6.
Are we gonna? Oh, that was number 3. Just kidding. Yeah, move on.
Point Y lies on XZ, the line XZ between X and Z. If XY equals XZ, find, or X, okay, I'm just
Is
confused.
it 10?
So XZ is a line segment. You can't tell sometimes, like if the arrow's on the end or not. So Y lies on there somewhere. Here's Y. And it tells you what XY is, it's 9. And it tells you what XZ is, the whole thing is 19.
It's 10.
So see how when you draw it out, you're like, oh, what do? You subtract. So 19 minus 9 is 10. So 10 units, you can just say 10 or 10 units is fine. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Okay. Still recording. Good. Good job, Mr. iPad. All right, so this is a cool looking little problem, but it looks like that line, if I'm just looking at it, it looks like that line is perpendicular to that plane. See how it just goes straight down into it? It looks like it's perpendicular, but let's see what it says. What are 2 different names for the plane shown in the diagram below? So we don't even have to know about the line. I thought it was cool though, so I drew it. So how do you name a plane? There's 2 different ways. Tobin?
Z.
The
Starting
letter.
Z.
It's Z.
3 points or the little
Okay.
the lowercase number in the corner.
And don't forget the 3 points have to be on the plane, so you can't say point A is one of those
They
3
have to be
points.
non-collinear.
So what is it? B, C, D? Is that what you just said?
No.
So you could say plane, B, C, D. There's one other way to name it.
Z.
Just plain and then fancy
Just
italic
plain
Z, capital letter Z. Woo! That's terrible. Don't look at that. No, that's terrible.
Do you put a line for your seven? Lines for your sevens.
Yeah, I do put sometimes I'm not consistent. It bothers me.
Just
Keeps
be
me up at
consistent.
night. Okay, you guys good with number 7?
Yeah.
Naming a plane. Make sure the only way you're going to mess this up is if you say plane B-A-D, because A is not on the plane. You just have to pick 3 points that are on the actual plane you're naming.
For A, he's just gonna fall straight onto land or the water. He's not in the plane.
Okay, so you can use a protractor again here. Did anyone measure this?
30 degrees.
Is it 30?
Yeah.
All right. So, and then you have to say what kind of angle it is.
Acute.
It's an acute angle. Remember, anything under 90 is acute. Everything over is obese, obtuse. Okay.
Cute little angle.
Cute little angle and a chubby obtuse angle. Got it. All
Can I
right.
have my protractor back?
Oh, where is it?
It's right there on your book. Would
Should
you?
I disinfect it first?
I don't care. Do you need it?
Yes, I'm going to disinfect it. Of course, I'm going to disinfect it.
I think there's laws around that.
Don't disinfect it. Don't give it to
Disinfecting. I'm just kidding.
Just throw it to me. I don't really care.
I don't think he has a choice. I think there's
Just
going to
don't
be a
do
problem
it.
with the
It's
school.
not like a pellet. Wow. I feel like
Don't
it's worse
break
to
it.
be on the floor. Than
Okay. Careful, it's a little slippery. Number 18, or number 18.
18.
Whoa!
18. 9.
Slow down. Name 4 points, 2 lines, 2 planes in the diagram. Okay, 4 points. Are there only 4 points?
W, X,
Yeah.
Y, Z.
YZ. Oh, and then it's
WX.
the WX little line things on top, and then YZ little line things.
So remember, you don't have to say point W, point X. If you just say a letter by itself, it's assumed that you're talking about points.
And then
Okay,
it's
name 2 lines.
Y, Z, W, X.
Okay, Y, Z,
WX.
W, X.
And then for
That's
planes,
really, or you could say Z, ZY, or XW, doesn't matter.
planes, it's M and N.
Yep, so you can use those just fancy italic letters, M and plain N, is it?
Oh.
Okay, you could say, well, actually you can't. That's the only way you can name them, right? Because you only have 2 points per plane. Actually, it looks like X, so you could say X, that you can name plane M X, YZ, or XYW. See that?
That's more.
But you can't name plane N. The only way you can name plane N is plane N. Does that make sense? Do you see why you can't name plane N, but you could? Okay, yeah, just stick with that. Number 10. Karen is sliding down a hill from the top to the bottom.
Karen.
The distance from the top to the bottom is 185. How far will she have to slide before she reaches the midpoint of the hill?
Divide by 2.
Just
Well,
divide
it's
it by
Karen,
2.
not that far.
92.5.
So you could draw a little diagram here, and you're thinking, oh, it's going to be a Pythagorean theorem problem. Nope. It's just 185, so the midpoint is going to be about right there. So divided by 2. What is that?
92.5.
92.5. What is it?
Yards.
Yards. All right, you guys good with 1 through 10?
Oh, I got
Yes.
11.
Now I
I'm
am.
still doing. I'm still doing 10.
Okay. Okay.
Well, yeah, we should just do 11.
Check if you were recording still.
Does
Thank
that
you,
say
Calvin.
92.5?
We are.
Thank you.
What's that, Kate? Did you say
Oh,
something?
I got it. I was wondering if that said 92.5 yards, but
Yep.
it does.
It do. It do.
Fun time.
Okay, number 11. Once.
Oh, we're so.
Mr. Flack.
Yeah.
But it can wait for after class. So I'll tell you after class.
Number 11.
Well, most everybody knows.
When taking pictures, photographers often place their cameras in three-legged tripods so the camera will not wobble. Explain why a three-legged tripod would not wobble and use postulates to explain why this is true.
Hey, maybe.
Wow.
I want you, this is,
I'm proud of you.
yeah. So does anyone know, this was a problem on one of your homework assignments. It's actually one of the number 5 examples where the real life stuff. But does anyone know why a tripod is always won't wobble?
More steady
But-
base.
Because
It's a triangle.
Tobin, do you know?
Because gravity, you can't tip it over with the 3
All right,
points.
think
Not
geometry. Yes, Kate.
Because it's
Physics.
heavy.
Because it's heavy.
heavy.
That's right.
Mr. Flack.
Yes.
Oh.
It's in a triangle.
Okay.
So
3 points determine a plane or a flat surface. So that's why.
I
Yes.
was going to say all 3 points lie on the same plane.
Yep. That's what you can say that. That's how you can justify it. 3 points determine a plane. 3 non-collinear points determine a plane. And if you want to just say that, I'll give you credit for it. Okay? Now, I don't know why they haven't figured this out, but they still make things with 4 legs, tables. Like, don't you hate it when you have to put like a napkin under one of the
Actually,
legs of a table in a restaurant?
most modern
It's
tables
usually
have 3
chairs.
legs.
Do they? The cool ones?
I
Okay.
really like the ones with 3 legs.
All right, number 12.
Maybe we should give you 3 lines.
A and B complement.
Number 12. So identify coplanar and non-coplanar lines. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it?
I said A and B are coplanar.
Yep. So there's no dotted lines in that diagram, so I'm going to say they're both coplanar. So you can say lines A and B are coplanar, and there are 0 non-coplanar lines. Okay? If there was like a dotted line, and it wasn't intersecting, but even if there's a dotted line here, but see they're intersecting in a point, so maybe it's not that plane that's drawn, but it's another plane. Okay? You guys good with number 12?
Yes, sir.
You're just, it's probably going to be the same on the test. They're just going to be drawn on that plane, so they're both coplanar and there's no non-coplanar lines. Okay, number 13.
It's an acute angle.
Does that look like down the middle there?
It's at 86 degrees. That's cool.
Okay, here's the diagram. DEF equals 46, so I'm going to write that in. FEG is 40, so I'm going to write that in. Find DEG. What do you do?
Atom.
DEG. Add them together. So measure of
86.
DEG equals measure of DEF plus measure of FEG, which equals 46 plus 40, which equals 86 degrees. If you write 86, you get this 100% right. If you tell me why it's 86, you get extra credit.
What if I wrote angle DEG?
Actually, you still have to classify it. Sorry.
46
So this is
plus
acute.
40 equals 86.
You still need to say it's acute, right? But if you tell me why, because there's the angle addition postulate, I think, says that if you add 2 angles together, then you just add their measurements together. That's it.
And we can just name the postulate.
Yep, angle addition postulate, I think is what it's called. So, yes.
The iPad is blocking the whiteboard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Can you
Way to go, iPad, fatty.
Is it still recording?
After the FEG, what comes after that, like under it?
Right here, so equals 46 plus 40 because DEF is 46 and FEG is 40. And then just add them together to get 86.
Great, thank you.
Yep. All right. number 14. Okay, this looks like a jumbled mess. This looks like one of those shoe contained, like you put your shoes in there and you have to build it.
It
It's
looks
really-
like. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, in the figure below, A, B, C, E, F, G are parallel, but that's the only thing that's parallel. So just that, those two horizontal planes are parallel. It doesn't say anything else. Okay? Identify two pairs of parallel lines.
Oh wait, I have.
Almost all of them. Well, no, it would be
No.
AB,
It's
CD.
AB and EF.
AB is not parallel to CD. You don't know that.
AB is.
Why not?
I know.
Because you don't know that those planes are parallel. But you do know that AB is parallel to EF
And then CD.
because those planes are parallel. So remember, if two planes are parallel, yeah. So does that make sense? You can't say AB is parallel to CD because you're just assuming, even though they look parallel, they probably are. But you have to know that ABF is parallel to CDH. Those two. It doesn't say that those vertical planes are parallel. So you can't say that those two lines are parallel. But you can say that AB is parallel to EF. And what else?
CD is parallel to GH.
Yep, and that's it. CD is parallel to GH. Now, you can't even say that CD is parallel to EF. Okay? Because they could be skew, but they're not. But you can't say they're parallel because you don't know that those vertical planes are parallel. Okay? That's kind of a trick question. Don't be fooled by that.
That was cool.
So you can only, if two planes are parallel, then if two lines are on a third plane, then those two lines are going to be parallel to each other. Draw as many lines as possible that are parallel to XY through a point Z, so that is not on XY. Okay, so there's only one line you can draw that's parallel to XY through point Z.
You draw like the little.
Yep, and it's just parallel to that. Okay? So number 15, you're just drawing one line parallel to XY. That's it. It'll be just like that on the test, I think.
Because it's fat.
How can you be so obtuse? Stop it. Okay, that hurt my eyes a little bit. Okay, chubby iPad is working. Here we go. Number 16.
You said we were skipping.
Oh, we're skipping it. Extra credit. So if you want to do 16,
You just wrote yes.
there is a problem like that in one of your homework problem sets, so you can check that out.
I do have a question though. What if we just write yes?
No, because the answer is no. I don't think they are parallel to the ground from the very quick glance over it.
It is, but
If you do write yes, then yeah, I guess you do have to answer the question. But if you explain it with theorems and stuff, then I'll give you extra credit. There's a lot of
if we
extra
just
credit
write
on
yes,
this.
it will just be like the normal 1 point.
It's just yes or no, right? Then he measured on a measurement sufficient to show that the lines A and B are parallel to the ground. So you can say yes or no. Use your gut if you don't know. But
My gut is usually wrong.
okay, 3 lines label A, B, C. You know that C is parallel to the floor. A is parallel to B. Do you want me to just do this and
Is
not
it-
call it
wait.
extra credit?
No.
'Cause
let's
there's a
keep it as
property
extra-
that you're gonna
let's
have
keep
to
it as
use.
extra credit. Let's keep it as extra credit.
Okay, all right. Number 17. Identify the property that justifies this. What property is that?
Reflective property of congruence.
That's right. No. Yeah. Yeah.
A,
Sorry.
B
Yeah.
is congruent
You
to
can do
AB.
that too. It doesn't matter. So this is the reflexive. If you said reflective, then I'll give you credit, but I'll giggle in my head a little bit. So reflexive property of congruence. Okay, good. How do you remember that? Because it looks like a reflection of itself. It's looking in a mirror.
And why is it reflective?
Well,
It should be BA then, right? Instead of AB, but same thing. Here we go.
Are you looking at
18.
itself?
It's hard to scroll upside down because your backwards.
I have faith.
What is the intersection of RS and TU?
V.
That's a cute little point. So you would say, you can just say V or just point V. If you just say V, remember, if you just give me a letter, I know you're talking about a point. Good?
Yes.
These are, now it's, I mean, it's
They're
nice. These are nice, refreshing problems. Okay, identify the intersection of planes M, which is the shaded one, and N, which is the not shaded one. And my eyes are going crazy.
Is
It looks like
C?
the shaded one is
CD?
going this way
Is the
into
bottom?
N.
It's CD.
Okay,
But-
I don't know what that is. I can't see it.
It doesn't matter if your eyes are messing with you, it's still, you're still able to see what the intersection is. What is the intersection?
CD.
CD.
So the line, don't forget to say line
CD.
CD. So you can put CD with a line over it.
If we just did CD, if we wrote out line CD, would that be
That's
okay?
fine. You can say line and then the letter CD.
And you wouldn't have to draw the arrow.
But yeah, if you draw the arrow, then that's redundant. So don't do that. So either say CD with the line over it or line CD without a line over it. Both are correct. Or DC. Doesn't have to say, you can say DC. Okay, name 3 rays.
AB, AC, and AD.
All right, make sure you put that A first. This is where if you mess this up, it's going to be you not putting the A first. And don't forget to label it correctly with a ray on top, or you can say ray AB, ray AC, and ray AD. But
Oh,
again,
it's a ray,
don't
not
do
a
both.
line.
Yes, not a line. It says name 3 rays.
It's a segment. Of a
So
line.
don't just say AB, comma CD, comma or AC, comma AD. You have to say ray. Label it correctly, or else I'm going to take half off. Okay? Good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good job. Wow. Well done.
Black man, give me some math and I'll give you some flack. Black man.